Ever get that like little shiver of fear? Maybe before you got to speak in front of a bunch of people, or like when you're up high looking
Oh,
down.
yeah, totally. I think everyone gets those little moments of, not sure about this.
Okay, but picture this. Over 20% of Americans who go to the dentist every year, for them, it's not just butterflies. It's like full on, I'm talking moderate to severe dental fear.
Wow, 20%. That's a lot, right?
It's huge, more than double the rate of all other specific phobias like put together. So it's
Yeah.
not just a little nervous feeling, it's serious stuff,
Yeah.
like real psychological distress.
And I mean, avoiding the dentist, that just makes any oral health problems worse, doesn't it?
Exactly. It's this nasty cycle.
Yeah.
And it impacts their overall health, too. Plus, think of the costs. More people end up in emergency rooms for dental stuff, which gets pricey for everyone.
Right, right. So it's not just the individual, it's a societal thing.
Yep. And the worst part, it's not like kids are scared and then grow out of it. This fear, it sticks around. For decades, studies have shown the same rates. People just avoid the dentist, things get worse, and around we go.
So what can be done? I mean, you've laid out a pretty, well, frankly, a pretty bleak picture.
That's where our deep dive comes in today. We found some fascinating research on a new approach, and it's kind of cool, a mobile app called Dental Fearless.
An app for dental fear. Tell me more.
It's not just any app. It's based on CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Proof and stuff for managing fear and avoiding the things that freak us out.
CBT, okay, I've heard of that. But isn't it usually like, you gotta go to a therapist for that?
Right, and that's the problem. Studies show CBT works really well for dental fear, but most people can't access it. Specialized clinics, waiting lists, all that.
So this app, it's trying to bring CBT to the people, basically.
That's the big idea. And that's what we're exploring today. How is this app made? Did people even like using it? And the big question, can mental health treatment, especially for common stuff like dental fear, become more accessible through technology?
Right, because that's the key, isn't it? It's got to be usable, otherwise what's the point?
Absolutely. We've got a study that breaks down the whole development process and the testing they did, all about usability.
And before we dive in, can we just touch on what CBT actually is? Like, how does it work for dental fear?
For sure, it tackles that fear avoidance cycle, right? So it's not just one thing. It's about how you think, how you feel, and what you do in those scary dental situations.
Okay, so it's a multi-pronged approach. I'm getting that.
Yeah. First, you've got psychoeducation.
Yeah.
Basically learning about dental fear. Where does it come from? Why does it stick around? How can we beat it?
Makes sense. Got to understand the enemy, right?
Then there are techniques for managing anxiety. Like those negative thoughts that pop up, this is going to hurt, I'm going to panic. CBT helps you challenge those. Plus, stuff like breathing exercises to calm your body down.
Ah, so it's about tools to use in the moment.
Exactly. And behaviorally, it's about exposure. Gradually facing those fears, starting small and working your way up. And a huge part for dental care. Communication skills, feeling comfortable talking to your dentist, asking questions, being in control.
That makes a lot of sense. If you feel heard and understood, it probably takes the edge off.
Right. And research backs this up. Understanding your fear and then facing it head on, gently of course, really does help. Now, since this is an app, they had to make sure people actually liked using it, which is where usability comes in.
Yeah, it could have the best CBT in the world, but if it's clunky or confusing, nobody's going to stick with it.
There's this theory, Rogers' diffusion of innovations, that looks at why some new tech takes off and some flops.
Interesting. So, like, why did everyone get an iPhone, but not everyone's got a smart fridge?
Exactly. Yeah. Ease of use, whether it fits into your life, seeing the benefits, those are all crucial. So for Dental Fearless, testing the usability was super important before they even looked at whether it actually reduced fear.
Logical. Got to make sure people can use it before you see if it works right.
Okay, so Dental Fearless 1.0, the first version, they really tried to explain those CBT strategies in super simple terms. It's all about what you think, feel, and do when you're facing your dental fear.
I like that. No jargon, just straight up, how does this apply to my life?
Right. When you start, it asks a few questions to figure out your biggest dental fears. That way it can personalize the order you go through the modules later on.
Smart. Makes it feel more tailored to you right from the start.
And they use motivational interviewing, asking about your reasons for wanting to beat this fear.
Oh, that's good. Helps you connect with your own motivation, keeps you going.
Then everyone does this overview module. It's like Dental Fear 101. Explains where it comes from, why it hangs around, and how to conquer it.
So laying the groundwork.
Yep. Plus, it teaches those anxiety management tools we talked about, thought challenging, breathing exercises, all that. And there's practice built in, right there in the module.
That's good. Not just theory, but actually trying it out.
And remember the exposure bit. Even in this first module, they start introducing those dental-related cues very gently.
So easing people in, I like it.
After that, there are more specific modules. You pick them based on what scares you the most.
So it's personalized.
Yeah, like general dental fear symptoms and CBT for those, feeling comfy in the dental office, painful procedures, managing your physical anxiety response, and needles.
Oh, boy.
Needles.
Ah, yes, the dreaded needles. A whole module just for those.
A big one for lots of people.
Right.
Each module follows the same structure info about that specific fear, examples of how to cope, and then chances to practice those skills.
Consistent structure that's good for learning. Keeps things familiar.
As you go through, you can pick strategies you want to use at your next appointment and make a little action plan.
Okay, so planning ahead. Smart.
They even use implementation intentions, like, if I start to panic, then I'll do my breathing exercises. Super concrete.
Oh, yeah, those are good. It's like pre-programming your response so you're ready when anxiety hits.
The core idea is just test it. It's about those worst-case scenario fears, I'll faint, it'll be agony, and then actually seeing if that happens at the dentist.
Oh, that's challenging those negative thoughts head-on, like proving them wrong through experience.
Now, even before they did the big usability study, they tested it out internally. Psychologists, dental students, research staff, some of them even had dental fear themselves.
Good idea. Getting feedback from all sides. People who understand the therapy and indeed people who actually experience the fear.
Yeah. They ironed out glitches, tweaked the exercises, made sure the audio and visuals worked, so by the time they got to the usability study, it was already pretty polished.
Makes sense. You don't want to test a half-baked app on people, especially when it's dealing with something sensitive like anxiety.
Okay, on to the study itself. They got 80 folks with moderate to severe dental fear, recruited from dental practices, university clinics, the whole shebang. They had to meet specific criteria, like how bad their fear was.
80 people. That's a pretty decent sample size to start with.
Two main ways they collected data. Most people just used the app on their own and then answered questionnaires about their experience.
Like a survey. Standard stuff.
But they also had a smaller group, 10 people, do think aloud sessions.
Oh, that's interesting. What's that?
They basically talk out loud as they're using the app, saying their thoughts, feelings, any confusion, while a researcher watches.
Ah, so you get real-time feedback, see where people get stuck or frustrated.
They used a few different measurements. The System Usability Scale, or SUS, that's a standard one for judging how user-friendly tech is.
Okay, makes sense. You need a way to measure that objectively.
Then the Credibility and Expectancy Questionnaire, or CEQ, measures if people believe the app and think it'll actually help.
So does it seem legit and promising? That's important.
And they made their own scale based on that diffusion of innovations thing we talked about to see if people would actually use this app in the real world.
So they were covering all the bases, user-friendliness, believability, and if people would actually adopt it.
Now for the results. On average, people finished about 2 3/4 modules and spent around 82 minutes on the app.
So they were engaging with it. That's a good sign.
But there was a range. Some people breezed through, others took longer. Interestingly, at the very beginning, people rated the importance of improving their fear pretty high. Average score of 8.1 out of 10.
So they were motivated. That's a good starting point.
The study also looked at what specific things about dental visits scared people most and tracked how many modules each person did.
So seeing if people targeted the modules that matched their fears. Makes sense.
Now, the big question, was it usable? The average score in the SUS was 78.6. That's way higher than most health apps, like a B+ rating.
Above average, that's great.
But, gotta be honest, about 29% of folks rated it below the acceptable cutoff for usability. So room for improvement for sure.
Okay, so not perfect. But I guess no app is, right?
Interestingly, the Think Aloud folks gave it even higher usability scores on average. Maybe because they had someone there, or maybe those volunteers were already comfy with tech.
Yeah, that's something to consider. Maybe they were more tech-savvy to begin with.
Now, for credibility. The average score on that CEQ was also really good, meaning most people thought the app made sense and could actually help.
Good, good. You got to believe in it for it to work.
Again, the Think Aloud group rated it even higher.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of everyone said the app was more than just somewhat credible.
So it seems like they did a good job of presenting the info in a way that felt legit.
Then, they looked at those factors that make people adopt new tech. Was the app a better way to do things? Did it fit into their lives? Was it easy? Was it worth the effort? Would they see results?
All the important stuff.
Most people rated it favorably across all 5 areas, like 71% average favorability. So they saw the potential.
Awesome. So people felt like, yeah, this could actually be helpful for me.
Now, the feedback from the Think Aloud sessions and interviews, super valuable. Lots of folks loved the animations, said it kept them engaged, made the content less scary.
Makes sense. Visuals help, especially with a tough topic like this.
But there were things to improve, too. People wanted more control, like pausing and rewinding videos, going back to modules easily. They also wanted to see their progress more clearly, like how much is left in this section that I finished this module.
Those are really good points. I hate it when I can't go back in an app or it's not clear how far along I am.
Some people also thought the coaching screens were a little boring, like reading a textbook. Too much text at once.
I can see that. You got to keep it visually engaging.
And some thought all those initial questions about their fear were a bit much right at the start. Plus, some found the app too long, like some folks spent 2 hours on it.
2 hours? Yeah, that's a commitment. Maybe breaking it up more would help.
Oh, and a lot of people love the coping techniques, the breathing, relaxation stuff. But they wish they could access those anytime, not just in specific modules.
That makes sense. When you need to calm down, you need to calm down, right? Not hunt through menus.
The interviews were super interesting, too. A lot of people said the app felt normalizing, like realizing they weren't the only ones struggling with this.
That's so important. Feeling less alone in your fear can be huge.
Even though the needle module was long, people still saw its value. Some even felt more ready to tackle their needle phobia after going through it.
Wow. That's powerful. It's like, even though it's tough, they got something out of it.
The communication module was a big hit. People felt empowered to ask questions at the dentist, advocate for themselves.
That's great. It's like it gave them permission to speak up for their needs.
Some folks were skeptical about challenging their thoughts at first, but they ended up finding those coping techniques really helpful.
So they were surprised by how well those techniques actually worked.
So version 2.0, they added visual progress tracking. You see a bar filling up, get messages when you finish a module.
Nice. Those little things really help with motivation.
They also made the navigation better. Pause, rewind, a home menu that's always there, clear icons for the coping tools and your action plan.
So just overall more user-friendly.
They cut down the initial fear questions, reduced the on-screen text, especially during the voiceovers, and they streamlined that needle module.
Good. Addressing those complaints head-on.
And the big change. Once you finish the overview and your highest-rated fear module, you can access all the other modules.
So they give you the basics first, but then you get more freedom to explore. I like that.
Stepping back, this study suggests that this self-guided CBT app for dental fear. It's really promising, both in how usable it is and if people like it enough to actually use it.
That's a big deal. It's not just about the tech, it's about whether it actually works for people in the real world.
Their SUS scores weren't just better than most health apps. They were similar to other CBT apps that have been around for a while.
So they're up there with the best of them. That's impressive for a first go.
And using simple language, like what you think, feel, and do, just test it. That seemed to really help people understand CBT.
Absolutely. Making it relatable, taking the mystery out of it. That's key.
But there are still challenges, right? The study mentioned those aesthetics and navigation issues, which are pretty common with these kinds of apps.
Right. Making it look good and be easy to use. That's where good design comes in.
They also talked about this balance between staying true to the therapy, fidelity, and making it engaging so people stick with it. Like with that needle module, it was thorough, but maybe too long for some.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Too short and it might not work. Too long and people lose interest. Finding that sweet spot is so important.
And they brought up how some depression apps actually leave OUT CBT components to keep people using them.
Interesting. So it's like, are they sacrificing effectiveness for engagement? That's a debate in the whole field, I bet.
Making those first 2 modules mandatory before you unlock everything else. That seems like their way of balancing things, giving people a solid foundation, but then more freedom.
Yeah, makes sense. Like, okay, here's the essential stuff. Now you can explore what you need most.
And the study talked about engagement. It's a huge question with a and a Y health app. How do you keep people coming back? Dental Fearless didn't do much gamification, but they did use those bite-sized modules.
Yeah, gamification can be tricky. Done wrong, it feels cheesy, but finding ways to make it fun without losing the therapeutic value, That's the holy grail, isn't it?
Totally. The researchers were honest about their study's limitations, too. Like, they didn't tie app use to a specific time before a dentist appointment. They also didn't have data on people who said no thanks to the study.
Right, so there are always things to consider when interpreting the findings.
And budget limited how much they could change the app based on that early feedback. But they were upfront about all that.
That's good. Transparency is key in research.
Their big conclusion, that balancing act between keeping people engaged and making sure the app actually delivers good therapy, that's the ongoing challenge.
It's a challenge for the whole field of digital mental health, I'd say. How do you make it accessible, A&D effective?
So what we learned today is that Dental Fearless, it's out there, and it's showing real promise, based on solid CBT, carefully designed and refined, using real people's feedback, all to make help for dental fear way more accessible.
Which is huge. When you think about how many people struggle with this and how it impacts their lives, this app could make a real difference.
And it really makes you think, right, what if technology could bridge that gap between people who need help and treatments that work? Not just for dental fear, but for all sorts of mental health challenges.
Absolutely. It's about harnessing the power of tech for good.
So, our listener, what other areas come to mind? Where could this accessible, evidence-based approach really shine? Something to ponder, for sure.